Hi.
Hello.
We just watched a movie. Should we also just kind of talk about the Oscars a little bit? Since it's
Okay.
already post Oscars.
Yeah,
And
sure.
with that being said, we just did a movie review for Coda, which won Best Picture, right?
Yes.
Which tells you that we did not get to get through all of the Oscar Best Picture nominated movies
Should
before
Best
the
Picture?
Best Picture. They get it. So this will. I mean, it's the Oscars was when Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday night. Today's Wednesday night, so it was like 3 nights ago, and everyone's still reeling over Will Smith, and
I know.
that's it's. That was, yeah, was I don't know. I was kind of tired of the foolishness of the wealthy elites.
And
So.
it's a shame that is what got so much attention from that night. You know?
Mm-hmm.
When a movie like this, a movie like Coda winning, is so much more of a wholesome story.
Yeah, it's great. I mean,
But no, of course, nobody cares about that stuff.
Oh,
They care
yeah.
about
Well,
Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. That's all. That's what people think is spicy, and whatever. Anyway,
yeah.
let's talk about that.
But yeah, we watched Coda. If I look like my eyes are puffy, like because I cried and I knew I would,
I was crying. I was crying too.
Oh, sorry. It's a good story. Like, I mean, it's just a nice, like, artistic storytelling. Like, this is where, like, how, like, telling like these unique stories of people just done in a way that's, I don't know, it's a unique story, and then it's done in a way that's very just like, it's not trying to be cheesy. It's very like real and authentic. Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of because which one won last year? Nomadland? No.
Nomadland. No.
No.
Wait. Best Picture?
Yeah.
There was Nomadland.
Nomadland, and it's a I could it they're kind of they're similar. They're very it's a unique story. It's told simply. It's done beautifully. Like it's a character who goes through a unique challenge. Like it's a unique story.
Uh-huh.
And it's because and also like because it brings up like disabilities and like accessibility, and like it's done in a way that isn't like so blatant and like kind of shoves it down your throat. And in that way it reminds you of Sound of Metal a little, like it's and even Drive My Car had a scene where one of the characters was deaf, and they were acting, and they were signing. So like that's really cool. Like, that kind of representation is huge. Like the actor, he also got an award, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guy who played the dad, he won best actor.
That's amazing. Like,
excuse me, best supporting actor.
That's like, and yeah, you're right. Like it's like there's been so much more representation in the Oscars, aside from all the like lame jokes and just weird things. But like they're trying, which is cool, but it is unfortunately overshadowed by like just foolishness and like, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, we have to watch more movies. We got a free trial of Apple's TV for this because we trying to be kosher.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I mean, I pretty much just second most of what you said. I think.
Is there anything you didn't like about the movie Homegirl?
Well, I will say first of all, I thought that the film was a little cheesy at some parts.
Sure.
But I think that like that lends to the more like realistic, natural feeling.
Yes.
Because there are some awkward moments, but high school is awkward,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, I
Yeah,
remember how
this felt
awkward that type of
really.
stuff
This
felt.
felt authentic for sure.
Yeah, if it
Not
did,
forced.
I mean, yes, and it did feel at times a little um, uh, like freeform, you know. At times it felt that way, but then at times it felt like much like okay, you know, this is really good. I love that every character's perspective, every significant character's perspective was represented, even the brother and how like the impact is on his family and how
Mm-hmm.
what like what he must feel being the older brother, but his sister is the one that everyone relies on, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
how that like that
Yeah.
affects him, and he feels like he needs to, you know, and then
It's
and
yeah.
the father's character and the mother's character, even the mother had like a significant agency within like trying to c-
It's
communicate with the.
it's very interesting too. I think like I mean it's kind of I well we haven't watched Encanto. We haven't watched the Panda one, but it's like there's parts of that story that like also resonate because our culture is very family oriented, very um there's a word for it, but it's like you feel the obligation to pay back your the generation before that that before you and stuff. So it's interesting. I mean the characters aren't Asian, but it's just like but you clear you're able to understand that like there's high stakes, like this is family, like
Right.
there's
Like your decisions adversely affect the the people in your
and
family.
or just and like the ethics of like staying or going.
Uh huh.
And Coda in music, it's like there's it kind of it's we were doing this way, but now it's gonna go to this different part.
Yeah.
So, or maybe it doesn't mean that. I don't know. But anyway, um, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. What I didn't like about the movie, um, I didn't like the guy actor. I thought the guy actor was a little
Oh,
the boy.
sure.
Also the music director, the music. I mentioned this a few times while we were watching this. I thought that his character was tuned up at like 11, when it would have been best at about a 7. You know, I think that he overplayed his character. Maybe they overwrote his character. I don't know, but yeah, like that to me took a little bit away from the film, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah. Because it's like, well, I don't know. These there she's a kid. Like I don't know. The adult there's a lot of adults that are like depending on her when it should like
Yeah.
that are like pushing her when it's like
hmm
the
His Yeah,
like
exactly. There were times where
the
his
teachers
example seems
being
very unprofessional,
yeah.
or maybe not so much unprofessional, but very like borderline dangerous when a teacher starts to be telling your parent, like, imagine a teacher tells your parents like you're making a big mistake not sending your daughter to school or something like that, you know, like
Yeah.
that's, you know, but hey, maybe
Yeah.
there is probably cultural differences too in there. I don't know.
And it's just I mean that I don't know.
I what
Bleh.
I what I thought was profound, you know, is that, well, okay, let me ask you, um why were you why did you find this to be an emotional film?
Um I think the importance of family resonates with me. Um and just it's I don't know, like a family unit like that like tugs at my heart kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um and you know like a lot of times when there's music or something or someone singing like that it it's moving. Like, then that's part of the story. That's part of the storytelling in the movie, and what moves the characters forward. And it's just, yeah. And that's also another aspect of what makes it a well done movie, is because they incorporate music in a way that's like, that just, it wasn't cheesy. It wasn't like, it was just right, and it felt very authentic.
Yeah, it felt really normal too.
Yes.
Like, yeah, really. It was good. I thought what I was gonna say. What I thought was profound was the whole concept of like, having family, like being dependent on you.
It's like there's a word for it, like enmeshed or something. It's just like, it brings up the topic of like families, and how it kind of starts to be kind of toxic, or just how to set boundaries. And like, there's, that there's a lot of that now, like a lot of the newer generation of parenting and raising kids, and it's different, the communication style and stuff. So yeah.
Well, yeah. I think I don't know. Anyway, let's finish the rating. How many
Oh god. Anything else to say about the Oscars though? The jokes, I don't know. I wasn't, the hosts, the jokes that the host said were weird. And besides Will Smith,
I thought the Oscars were great,
slapping Chris Rock, like there was that other part where the hosts were like groping the dudes, and it's like this. I'm like, this is kind of disgusting. Like,
yeah, well,
but it's the whole thing of like, yeah, like, are we just are we just too sensitive now, or is it just like, also like, I don't know. Think the culture with these, like, with celebrities, and like, it's changing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's silly. It was silly. It was written silly, but the production quality was top.
Yeah.
Top tier. Oh wait, Oscars is always top tier production quality.
Yeah.
For the most part. The fact that they even had when Coda won, they had a signer for the audience that are watching. Mm-hmm. Then they had a signer interpreting for the deaf people that were on stage, so that they could face the camera. They had a signer facing that's back to the camera, mm-hmm. facing them, so that like.
And it's just that's accessibility, and that's like, and that, like.
But see, that is some woke Oscar stuff. But see, the thing is, if the Oscars wasn't that woke about that, they would have gotten trashed for not being that woke. Because you imagine, oh, you want to honor a film about the deaf community, but you're not even willing to be catering to the deaf community. I don't know. Kudos to the Oscars. Y'all are doing a great job.
It's his Super Bowl. It's his WrestleMania.
WrestleMania is my WrestleMania, homegirl.
I think. Well. Okay. Well, thanks for watching. We're gonna watch other movies.
Wait, you didn't give the rating.
Oh yeah. How many Codas?
How many Codas?
How many buckets of fish?
How many buckets of fish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of 10?
How many buckets of tears?
Buckets of tears, of my tears. I want to give it an 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was really good, but I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Okay. I'll give it a 9.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
And that's the highest I've rated so far. We haven't honestly watched a lot of, this was the first film that I was like, okay, I would have probably picked this and maybe Best Picture, right? Like, this is probably in my top 5.
Yeah, did we say how it's like it gives like Nomadland and like Sound of Metal, like
yeah, of course,
it's those kinds of storytelling and things. So yeah, Cool. Well, it's gonna be fun watching King Richard whenever we get to that, because I'm not gonna enjoy that. But here we are. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Ooh.